Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Immortal Desire, Chapter 8 Toxicology 101. So, last chapter we saw that our mom is really close to getting to the truth of the killing near the woods, and she has a toxicology report coming, and she says that if she has the report, she will know for sure what is causing the killing. And if that happens, then Lewin would have our moms and ours, both of our heads on his hand, and Astorius too, because we'll be literally dead, not undead even. So this is, we need to step up. So we start the chapter that we're trying to sneaking into the hospital, and we're not alone. We're with Gabe and Cass, and we see a little bit of infighting again. This is kind of the where it's going. Like we have these before. All right, so the rival love interest. It reminds me of recent book. What is that wolf bride, that was a little bit too intense in fighting. But here it is not that intense, but kind of the same. Morgan, we thought was a human but became a wolf. I mean not became, but we came to know that she was a wolf, and same for Gabe kind of. So there's a little bit of infighting. Then we need to calm them down, that we need to keep our heads cool, and then we go to the hospital, and we will see they're fighting throughout. Like, that's, I think, so far, if you look at we are 8 chapters in Immortal Desire, and so far, what to me the plot is definitely that we're a normal human being, and we came to a city, a town of Crimson Beach, and we found out that it's not normal. We have vampires, and we have two hot-headed vampires after us. And there was a subplot that Gabe, we thought was a protector, is actually also a vampire. And there's another plot that is there's a vampire coven. They're killing human beings, and our mom is trying to dig info about it, and we need to stop it, because otherwise our main character will be killed by vampires. So we know vampires can kill human beings. Vampires can fight each other, but can vampires kill each other? Can vampires die? Because vampire hunters are past at the moment. So this is the plot so far until chapter 8. Alright. So then we go to do something with the report, and then we will, Diamond Scene, get to change our outfit so that nobody recognizes us. Even if our mom sees us or anybody, they will see us as they won't be able to recognize us. And then there was also fighting between Cass and Gabe. Cass was saying something to Whereas, and Gabe was saying something to Whereas again. So it was going like Cass was prompting Gabe, saying like, or like teasing Gabe, and Gabe was giving in and jumping at the opportunity, like, oh, like, okay, you want to challenge me? Like, nobody was keeping a calm head, but we can't come in between them, like, all right, like, we're gonna have to do this stuff. And then we make a plan. We buy the outfit. And our mom, even though she sees us, won't be able to recognize us later. If you do this, if you don't do it, don't buy the outfit, then what will happen? Do let me know in the comments if you don't do that. Alright, then we will have a plan that Cass and our main character will go to the office, and we'll change the report, and we'll using the computer. And meanwhile, what Gabe will do will buy us time and distract Lewin. So, because if you forgot, Lewin is our mom's boss anyway. This is quite ironic, yeah? And then we go there, we see the reports, and we see that our mom has dug up quite the information that, whatever caused the death was a venom. And we learned a little bit about these venoms from Cass, that, venom, if you inject it in the wrong amount, humans will die. But it will also help to transform from human to vampire. All these details we learned. But there was a question that, then why would they, if they want to kill this human being, quote on human being, stress on human being, because so far we're talking with Cass, then why would they need to inject the venom? And this was looking a little shady at the moment. And then Gabe comes in and says, she, whatever your gender is, Gabe's gender is, Gabe has got the Lewin's password. And we can dig in more with the password, and then our jaws will drop to the floor, because like I said, what was the plot so far? All the things I said we thought was the plot of this book so far. Alright? Get this. Then now things change. Gabe says the person who died is not a human being, but is actually a vampire from Clement's coven. And he was on the patrol duty on the woods boundary. And Gabe literally breaks down at this, because Gabe is a caring human being. Gabe even feels sad for a human loss, and this vampire was a coven made for them, and Gabe thinks he didn't deserve it, and then we can go to the morgue and see the dead body for itself. And because this raises so many questions, because our world is shattering. Because what would have killed a vampire? And with poisons like the venom thingy, how would it happen? And we check the body, we see how horribly he was killed. And we were even Cass, we thought like was the, yeah, everything is all right, like kind of like the demon like personality, like, yeah, nothing's gonna scare me, demon plus claws from Vampire Diaries. But even Cass had that morbid face, like as if Cass saw a ghost. Well, he literally is, but anyway, Cass was like that. uh, how the writers captured Cass' expression. This went on to show that how morbid that situation is. A vampire was killed like this, and this was something else. Like, it was not like a vampire attacked a vampire, but there was something more going on. And even to add to the woo, we also Cass found out a talisman, like sort of a, vampires are afraid of the sunlight, and there was a talisman that you can, if you point to a vampire, it will hit the vampire by sun rays, and it's a weakness of vampires. So Max, or this vampire who was killed, he definitely used it. He had it, but still it didn't affect on the vampire. So definitely whatever vampire attacked it, even we don't even know if it was a vampire, but it was resistant of this sun thingy. So we can just imagine how dangerous it could have been. So we also see Gabe breaking down. We can console Gabe and sort of, have some moments. And since I am mainly romancing Gabe, I took more time to, spend some time with Gabe and have some moments, sympathize with him, Gabe. And then we come out of there, and our mom doesn't see us, thankfully, or so what we thought. And then we go outside, and while we're walking home, we sort of talk about turning, and we also got to know that vampires can turn human, and all the crazy details we get to know, that it's not a single bite injection of venom on their neck. It doesn't do that, but it's a ritual. So it is not needed, but it is a ritual of turning. So all the vampire mates, like all the covens, both the covens I should say, Venendis and Clemens, all of their members bite that human being turned, and it is painful. And Cass really takes pride in that. Gabe again doesn't really like it, and Gabe even was denying, sort of not denying, I would say, but kind of was not trying to remember the one time Gabe turned someone, a human, to vampire. And then Gabe tells us and how painful it was because the human being was begging Gabe to not bite, but Gabe had to do it anyway because that would have been dire for both Gabe and the human being. So this turning process, just one bite is necessary, but the whole thing biting, by all the coven members, it's just really awful. We can also further tease Cass and Gabe that then Cass and Gabe are not related, like are not just rival coven mates, but they are also related because they had bite marks from both covens when they turned, and that sort of flares, just adds to the flame between their rivalry. The heat flares it up. But we also, in a diamond scene, we can go to a abandoned church, and then we can see from not see but hear from them, and while we hear from them how the turning process works, we can get too close with them. Like at first, we'll know from Cass, like inside the church, Cass will drag us away from Gabe and will tell us how the turning process turns, and will show us some spots like our neck. She will have her flanks on our veins, the sheer heat, Cass, and then Cass will tell us that this is how it goes, and we'll feel jolts of electricities and butterflies, as explained, all while this, and then we will be taken by Gabe to the other side, and Gabe will tell us how the turning process turns. So we see again the contrasting personalities of the two love interests, while Cass is more raw, goes hands on, and like says it how it is, and like puts it out blatantly, no sugarcoating, and has the vulnerability. You can feel the vulnerability because anything bad can go wrong, but still that you're safe with Cass. And on the other hand, Gabe is a sweet, caring personality, like double checks whether you're okay, like like analyzing everything for what it is, and has a more humane approach, I would say. But both of them are protecting of us. And then finally, we say if we would like to be turned, we would like to be, would like to have the bites from you two, and that even fires up the flame between them, flame of hatred. And Cass says that a main character belongs to them. Gabe says no, them. And then we sort of, there's a scene like we imagine we're being turned and we're getting bitten by Cass and Gabe on either side of us. So I guess that would be the book cover, how the poster is for the book cover picture, Cass and Gabe on both sides of us. And that's where it ends. Then we reach our home, and oh well, does the whole world break down on us? Our mom is just not suspicious of us, but we are sneaking out late at night, we're coming in late at night. So this is all suspicious activity, and we can't even tell our mom that what we did was just to keep her alive, keep our main character alive, keep ourselves alive. But we try, we even further misbehave because we had to do it. We can't tell our mom what actually went on. It would endanger both of our lives, and it breaks our mom's heart, and we see the hurt in her eyes. But something worse happens. She now grounds us and says that it's Cass and Gabe. Since we started hanging out with these two, we kind of we've gotten to this that we're not caring for anything at this point. So she grounds us, and that's where the chapter ends. Well, this is going to be a little hard for our main character because we will have to see where this goes, the killings, the recent findings. We're also worried for Cass and Gabe at this point because Gabrielle and Cass, or Gabe and Cass, if vampires are getting killed by something even far more powerful than vampires, then Cass and Gabe could be in danger, and we want to protect them. Meanwhile, we want to protect our mom and our main character also from Lewin. So we want to stop mom from doing more information about these murders. So, and all while we need to do these things done, our mom grounded us. So how would that work out? Will we sneak out again, or will we get caught again? And who will catch us? Is it going to be our mom to ground us again, or is it going to be vampire to literally bury us under the ground, or for something far more dangerous? We'll see all those things in the next chapter. But Immortal Desire, again, I read it as soon as it was released. Same goes for Cursed Heart. Really interesting books releasing at this moment. This year has been really interesting in terms of choices books. Last year, I remember at this point we only had one murder mystery whodunit that was The Unexpected Heiress, and all the other books were not as much interesting. Queen Bee was there, of course, but other than that, not so much. But this year, in terms of books, it's really amazing. And Slow Burn has also been released. I'll cover it pretty soon. But let me know your thoughts and opinions and your theories so far on this book in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.